Hey guys, want some pizza? Yeah? Yeah? Let's make some pizza. Hey everybody, today I'm gonna be making a Chicago style deep dish pizza. Ever since I visited my wife's family in Chicago, it changed my life. All I needed was one slice of that Lou Malnati's, and when I got back home, all I ever did for a month was try to remake the recipe. So stay tuned, I'm gonna try to do it again.
Okay, so let's go over what we need. We'll need some all-purpose flour, some semolina flour, sugar, salt, and some active dry yeast. And for the sauce, we'll need some diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, and some fresh garlic. For the toppings, we'll need mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, mild Italian sausage, and some mushrooms. Now we can start making the dough.
Okay, so the first step to making the dough is to prepare the yeast. You gotta let it bloom first. So we have about 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of this active dry yeast in it, and I'm gonna put maybe about a teaspoon of sugar to help it along. Okay, so this process should take about 10 to 15 minutes, and it'll be ready to mix with the dry ingredients. So while we're letting the yeast bloom, we're gonna mix in the dry ingredients. We're gonna start off with 1 3/4 cup of regular flour. See if I can get this in here. And a 1/2 cup of semolina flour. Let's whisk it together. Now we're gonna grab our salt, and say put in about a teaspoon or a tablespoon. And then we're gonna add this into the bowl with the water and the yeast. Okay, so now we're ready to make our dough. We're gonna put in the water first, and if you don't have a KitchenAid, then sucks for you. But yeah, KitchenAid makes everything easier. All right, we're gonna start it on a low level with the mixer, and we're just gonna add in the dough. Well, actually, just so it doesn't get messy, I'm just gonna add the dough first. I'm still spilling. Whatever, dude. All right, now we can mix the dough.
Okay, so now you have to let the mixer do its work. It's gonna take a little bit for the dough to get to the right consistency, but you can watch it progress here.
Okay, now the dough is starting to take shape. This is the consistency that you're trying to look for. So after letting the dough proof in some more corn oil, you get this, which is enough for 2 pizzas actually. But I'm just gonna make one, and I'll save the dough for tomorrow. Maybe I'll make some more pizza. But for now, we're gonna coat the bottom of the pan in some Crisco before we put the dough in. You want to coat the entire bottom of the pan. What this does is make the bottom of the pizza crispier. So now we're going to take half of this dough here, I'm just going to guesstimate it, and press it onto the pan and onto the sides. And if I need more dough, I got more dough. Sorry about my dog. He likes pizza. So what you want to feel for is your crust to be about a 1/4 inch thick. You can make it thicker, you can make it thinner, it's up to you. I happen to like a thinner crust on my deep dish, and it still manages to hold everything in. I'm actually going to use a little bit more dough. All right, now you want to press the dough onto the side of the pan. This is what holds everything in while it's baking. So you want it to look like this. Put this out of the way. Okay, now we're gonna make the sauce. What the sauce consists of is diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, tomato paste, salt, garlic powder or granulated garlic, white pepper, and basil, and of course my garlic, my fresh garlic. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is open up this can of crushed tomatoes and strain it out. What we don't want is a runny, watery sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain these in the sink and add it to the mix. Now let's add our diced tomatoes. About 4 tablespoons should be fine. And we can do about half a can of tomato paste. We add our garlic, tablespoon or teaspoon of white pepper, teaspoon of granulated garlic, top it off with some basil, put some salt on it. And while it's straining in the strainer, we can mix it all up. All right, so we let this strain. I'm gonna go ahead and dump out all of the excess liquid, and I'm gonna mix this in the bowl. Okay, this is what your sauce should look like. I don't cook it in a pan before I put it on the pizza. I just let it bake. So when it comes to constructing this type of pizza, we start with the cheese first. It acts as a barrier from the sauce because deep dish pizzas come with a lot of sauce and we don't want a soggy crust. I like to use cheese slices as it covers more surface area. And yes, I'm using mozzarella cheese. All right, so next we're gonna put on the sausage out of the casing and the pepperoni onto the pizza. Then we're gonna top it off with the sauce. And now we're gonna top it off with a sauce. And next we're gonna sprinkle it with some Parmesan. And now it's ready to go in the oven. Just kidding. I still gotta put in the mushrooms for my wife. Now it's ready to go into the oven.
Preheat the oven to 450 degrees and let the pizza bake for about 35 to 40 minutes. If you have pizza stones, they're great for heat retention.
Okay, so after 40 minutes in the oven, this is what we have.
And now we have the challenge of getting it out of the pan to be able to cut it. Easy. Time to cut and serve. I know, I need a better pizza cutter. Nothing like a fresh hot slice. What do y'all think?
All right, well, there you have it, folks. This is how I prepare my deep dish pizza. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Till next time.